You're welcome, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Engineer Janako. Hello, Engineer Musa. Hello. Engineer Ramotu. Engineer Ramotu. Engineer Fali, you are welcome. Oh, well, actually, we've not talked since morning, and I have a meeting now, so I'm just entering a meeting. That's
Good evening, Prof.
Engineer Fali. Engineer Fali.
Prof, how are you
You're
doing?
welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your cooperation. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Engineer Fali. Engineer Fali.
Yes, Prof.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. When it comes to that subcommittee TORs, you will present it.
Not a problem.
Because I will say that you actually drafted it.
All right, not a problem. Okay then.
Hello, honey. So how are you doing? I say, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you very much, Prof.
Very
How are you doing
are you
as well?
in Nigeria or
I am. I'm in worry. I came to decide about the induction of new members for the Delta State chapter.
Okay.
I even have to leave them early so that I could join this meeting.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate. Finish early. Yeah.
You can see that this team, we are much more responsive than that first one.
True.
Actually, Engineer Ramoto joined earlier and she left.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why she left. So
maybe it's her network.
let me call her.
Okay then.
It may be. I was trying to talk to her, shouting, but she didn't hear me.
Okay.
Engineer Ramoto.
Oh, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, you joined. Yes, I can hear you. Where did you live? I said, can you hear me? I am back again. My network is not stable. I'm back again.
Okay, sir.
Ejina Ayechi. Ayechi. You're welcome. Thank you. Let's just hold on for a few more minutes and let's see how many more people will join.
Okay, maybe like we did last one, maybe 10 minutes more.
Yeah,
That would be
exactly.
helpful.
Actually, we started 10 minutes past.
Last month, yeah. Okay,
Last
sir.
month. Okay, good evening, all.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, nice being with you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm still suggesting that we wait till 10 minutes past 5 before we start, though we are 8 right now. Is that in order?
Yes, very much in order, Chairman.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's
Okay,
in order.
thank you very much. Let's wait till 10 minutes past, please. Thank you. Our secretary is in Uganda. Am I being heard? Our secretary is in Uganda. So she just opened the office for us and then she left. But she has given me, she has made me co-host so I can share. So I'm going to share the minutes, I'm going to share the agenda, all these kind of things I'm going to share. Okay, I think we can start now. Can we? Can we start?
Yes, we can start.
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
please. So the meeting is called to order. Let us start with opening prayer. Let us pray individually according to our faith, please. Amen.
Amen.
Please. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please browse the agenda, look through and see if it's in order. If it's not, make suggestions as to correction.
I think it's in order.
Okay, thank you very much. All right.
I hereby motion for the adoption of the agenda.
Okay. Actually, I've arranged with Engineer Saidu Hassan to be the secretary. He told me that he will be here with us, but should in case he is not available, he has already directed his office to make records of this so that he can write the minutes for us. Okay?
That's okay, Chairman.
Very good. Thank you. So we're all welcome. There are 8 of us today out of 12. I pray we'll make the 12, which we did last week. Thank you very much. I believe that we have gone through the minutes because the minutes have been available immediately after the meeting. And I think that the secretary did very well. I praise that anyway. You see with the things that have been posted, what we are going to do today. What we are going to do today will be essentially welcoming people into their various subcommittees. So we do the informal inauguration today and work can start. But I'm sure some of you know that I've been talking with one or two other people, all through. So we are welcome to this meeting. Can we go to the reading of the minutes for correction and for adoption?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So here we are with the minutes. Sorry, I'm struggling to scroll on the minutes. Okay. It's responding now. Okay, so let's start from so everybody has been marked present. So I needn't ask if there is anybody that doesn't find his or her name. So that was the agenda which we used. And we started at 5:10. We adopted the agenda just as we have done. Oh, who seconded the adoption of the agenda, please?
I wish to second Engineer Booker.
Okay. Thank
Second.
you, Engineer Booker. Engineer Booker seconded. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm already scrolling down. If we have anything to correct.
Yeah, actually, Prof.
Yes, please.
Sorry for taking us a little bit back, though I was trying to overlook it. But my name is Bukar, Engineer Bukar Yahya.
Yahya. Okay.
Yahya.
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 Okay.
Yahya, not Yahaya.
Okay. Sorry. Yahya.
Hya.
Hya. Okay. Yahya.
No, the spelling that is there is Yahaya. But the correct one that I use is
Yah. Okay. I will ensure that it's corrected.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, I'll get back to you to ensure that, to be very, very sure that we are correct. Thank you very much. All right. Any other correction as we go ahead? 1.6. 1.6. Then we started working on the subcommittees. And I think by now we are done. I'm going to post that at an appropriate time. If we can we adopt it so that we can go through for matters arising?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Engineer Ramatu. Okay. Who is seconding?
I'm seconding Engineer Dr. Godwin Udo.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Okay.
That's all right. So now we can go to matters arising. And if you see, the matters arising have been listed, in the agenda. So we can just go straight, go back to the agenda. So can continue. Am I arising? Have been listed as substantive matters in the agenda. So, presentation by the chairman. Actually, I've selected people who will actually make presentations. First of all, I will, on this side, show the list of the subcommittees as of today. Let me do that. And let's comment on that. I'm going to show the list of the subcommittee as we have it today. Sorry. Okay, this is what we have right now. We have people in the first subcommittee. We have 5 in the second.
Is there any network issue?
I think so. There should be network issue because we can't get anything. I can't hear too. I'm at my own side too.
Hello.
Hi.
What's going on?
Maybe the host is having issue with network.
I've lost the chairman.
Is there anybody coordinating with the chairman?
Who is the assistant?
There is a co-host.
Somebody else should be piloting the meeting until he gets back.
The co-host should take over.
Let's just make progress. Anyway, so maybe let me contribute. He's back now. And he had network issues. He had gotten to the point where it is that he said he wanted to talk about the subcommittees. So maybe we should just allow him, since he's back now, to talk about it. Prof, can you hear us? You're muted, Professor Adefila.
Okay, yes. Am I being heard now?
Yes.
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 Thank you. I will share the subcommittees again, and Engineer Faloye will now we'll talk about it briefly. Then Engineer Faloye, who actually drafted the TOR, will present to us the basis on which he did it. I don't know whether I should call it model which he used or the process which he had in mind, because you see that he had a process in mind, and he would discuss it with us, and then we'll move on. So let me share the subcommittee.
I can't see my name in 2 and 3. It's only one I can see my name.
Where again do you want your name, please?
Subcommittee, the third one, number 3.
Okay, we should put 3 again. All right.
I've been sending it to the secretary, but I don't know.
So just please.
I cannot see the document.
Ramatu Musa. 3. We will include you, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. This is what we have. So we will include you, people in 3 there. Engineer Faloye, please process by which you came about the TOR, then, because I can see that you covered everything right from the beginning to reporting. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Prof. So
Engineer Faloye. Engineer Faloye, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay, I should bring the TOR. Okay, I'll bring it.
Let me share my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as the Prof had mentioned, these terms of reference were developed with some kind of a... So, Prof, I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing the document now. So, So the terms of reference were actually based on the terms of reference that was issued to the Codes and Standards Committee. It was based on the document that the Executive Secretary shared. The Executive Secretary had shared in the terms of reference to the committee what the expectation of the NSC was. And in looking at what those expectations were, we just looked at how do we cluster it and then assign it. Prof had said then that if we could do subcommittees so that we can have some kind of a focus and we'll be able to get people to be assigned to different things. In the previous Codes and Standards Committee, we had maybe like 5 or 6 subcommittees, and they were assigned to different things. So those different things, I again looked at what was common with what is in the terms of reference that was issued by the Executive Secretary, and then said, what kind of headings would we have? Now, the headings for these subcommittees, again, is to drive what the main committee is supposed to be doing. What the main committee is supposed to be doing, for example, was to create awareness of codes and standards among engineers. The subcommittee was also supposed to try and increase the number of codes and standards that had been developed or were being developed. It was also supposed to, as much as possible, make sure that it is popularized, make sure that it is so I'll say advocacy for the use among members, people who are engineers. Engineers will be able to start using codes and standards and not walk in the darkness that we don't have. And then also to try and get the divisions to do codes of practice. And there was a target that was set that there will be at least 5. There was a fifth subcommittee at our last but one meeting where it is that it was suggested we should also see how it is that we could build the capacity of our engineers to be able to develop the codes and standards. So it was more or less reviewing and then just picking and packing and saying this is what each subcommittee will do. So for the first subcommittee, the way it panned out was to say, in terms of saying we're publicizing it, that we will do workshops. We had done workshops previously, again, maybe 2-3 years ago. These were virtual workshops. So this committee, we've now called it Organization of Virtual Workshops on Codes and Standards that exist. And essentially, it's to plan, coordinate, and deliver this subcommittee and deliver the virtual workshops that will help to create the awareness and build understanding of engineering professionals. I've therefore just said what will be the scope. Scope will be to develop schedules. I've said it will be for, I didn't say how many workshops, I just said for online workshops. And then it will be to engage those ones who already know about the codes in each of the divisions to now come and deliver lectures and case studies on those codes at a workshop that will be organized by the NSC's Codes and Standards Committee itself. We had done this before and it had been successful. I think maybe Dr. Godwin had also presented on behalf of his division then, and different ones from different divisions, those ones who are in charge of their codes and standards, had delivered what it was. And it had been successful, I would say, but it had been limited in terms of its coverage. So it's something that it can continue. So ensure there's wider participation across the NSC divisions, and we will promote it through the NSC's communication channels. The Executive Secretary is one that typically will publicize it, and then that helps to drive more traction. Engineer Michael Reke is not, I don't see him at this meeting right now, but he was also part of what had been done before. This was for the NIMME, the Materials and Metallurgy Division. So essentially is to deliver that. How many will there be? How long will it take? Again, I don't know how many it will be. The last time that we did it, we were targeting to do one every quarter. We didn't actually achieve doing one every quarter, but I think it's still a good target to have. So the subcommittees, those ones who have volunteered to be part of that first subcommittee, this would be what their own scope of work is. They should design and make sure that they deliver 4 workshops for the year. Now, I don't know how long it is that this committee, what the term will be. I know it's been reconstituted. Typically, the Codes and Standards Committee is for the term of the NSC president, or about a year. Our current president should be ending by this December. I don't know if this committee will survive her term. I know it's Prof that had ensured that it was reconstituted to try and give it some more zest. So that means if it is going to be under Professor or under Engineer Ogutala's regime, we have only 1 quarter left. But I've just said that to do it every quarter, meaning that if it is for a whole year, there will be 4. And to try and give a feedback. Typically, the Codes and Standards Committee is supposed to report to the council, and the MOPSA team, that's Engineer Ogutala's strategic agenda team, they had what were called cadence meetings that our chairman, Professor Adefila, was supposed to be reporting to every time it is that they do their own cadence meeting. So the reports that are developed, we will need, as a report by this subcommittee, we will need to consolidate it with the reports of other subcommittees and then report to that cadence committee. So this is what I have developed. I have structured the TOR so that it will have some kind of, shall I say, comprehensiveness based on what we had done previously. What we had done previously, we had timelines, and the timelines when it is that the last Code and Standards chairman, Dr. Popola, had been doing. There are timelines that he needed the report, and he used to scramble to be able to get sufficient reports. So I've just included it in this TOR that we should all submit reports in a timely manner so that it can go to that committee. Now, I don't know how enduring this particular framework is going to be, but I have developed this on the basis of what was the previous lived experience. The second subcommittee, so what, again, we said the NSC wanted is to make sure that we are developing codes and standards. But the reality is that the codes and standards, for them to be things that will have the weight of law, it has to go through SON. Yeah, this is just part of what I would say is the law in Nigeria. SON, they are the repository of those standards that we need to mute some. Okay, so the SON needs to be the one that will be the repository of all standards. So it means that whatever it is that we do, for it to have the force of law, it needs to go through SON. But there are also other regulators that are industry regulators. Current is a practice regulator. So for us to say we are developing codes and standards, it has to be in conjunction with those ones that are government agencies or regulators. And the NSC is a professional association. It's not a regulatory body. And so what we have written here is to facilitate collaboration with SON and other regulators for the review and development of engineering codes and standards in Nigeria. There are different types of codes and standards, maybe product codes or practice codes or design codes. And at the last Codes and Standards Committee, when we came to this realization, we had said we were going to approach SON, and Engineer Buka Yahya had graciously accepted that he was going to join this committee at that time. He was at that time the director of standards development in SON. So he had graciously accepted to join so that he can help in developing this. So what we have written is that we want to work with SON. We can do what SON calls elaborate new standards. That is more or less like saying we are coming up with what we want to become a standard, but it's also possible to adopt codes that had already been done previously by first adapting them, which means to identify the gaps in them and then adapt them and then be able to adopt them for Nigeria. So the purpose of this committee is to work with SON to identify those codes that really needs work, and then try and get the NSC divisions that are particularly relevant to work on it. The SON, they also have their own work plan, which are actually multi-year work plans to be able to develop or to adapt or to review the standards. But this was to be able to have a focal point within the NSE to work more closely with the SON and then to report. So I've put like mid-year reviews, but again, this is something that is from the view that we've had from last year. Like the prof says, this is the proposal based on the thinking, based on the review of what it is NSC had provided for us. Now that we have it, we can review it and then maybe have more input. And for example, Engineer Bukayaya and others that are here may also talk about it. The subcommittee, so we've called it advocacy for the existing codes and standards, extant, existing. So it's really that among engineering professionals and practitioners, a lot of NSC members complain that we don't have any codes in Nigeria, which is really misleading because we do have codes in Nigeria. It's just that not many people realize that we do have codes. Those codes, SON has a lot of them. The ones that are really applicable to Nigeria, that have been adopted for Nigeria. There are other professionals that use codes from other countries, British standards, American standards, European standards, but there are codes that exist. It's just that they're not being used so effectively. So this subcommittee is really to help in promoting more awareness. We're hoping the webinars will be able to at least increase the awareness, but there may be other ways in which this advocacy can be improved. And this is at both national and subnational levels. So when I say national and subnational levels, is that there are different governmental agencies where it is that these complaints may also be heard, that in ministries or in MDAs, also in the states, where there may be some MDAs that will say we don't have Nigerian standards, in quotes. They don't know about the NIS. And then also at the local government levels, there may be ministries where it is that they encounter materials or products and they're saying, no, we don't have Nigerian standards. This is really to see how it is we can develop and disseminate more awareness materials among the different bodies. And this may be by engaging with divisions, NSC divisions and chapters, so that our members will be able to take that message wherever it is that they're working and understand that there are codes and standards in Nigeria. There are those ones that are NIS, there are those ones that need to be worked into NIS, but to get NSC members and engineers in general to professionalize by actually adopting the standards. I recall in the last meetings, there were standards that had to do with geotech. There were standards, different kind of standards that had been mentioned that engineers were not so aware of, and so they were not adopting. When will it be done? Again, in terms of timelines, these are broad brush proposals. I don't know if this particular committee is going to last into the next term of Engineer Rabiu. But I've just said to do two.
Let us assume that we'll go into the next year.
Okay, all right. So so I've just said we'll do two, and I've put the first campaign, as in a campaign of going around, should start before the end of this year. So I've just put again tentatively November. Again, this is tentatively. Some of these things I'm just like pulling rabbits out of a hat. It needs to be discussed thoroughly if it makes sense. And then these two campaigns that will be biannual campaigns, we will need to report on it to see how it is going, come up with some kind of I'll say dashboard or KPIs that will say whether we are achieving what we want to do. For this particular subcommittee, KPIs will be based on whether there is a wider compliance with codes and standards, or whether there is greater visibility of NSC's leadership roles. Now, again, these are broad, but is subject to additional discussion. The fourth subcommittee had to do with the target I was given in the TR that we should have the divisions develop at least 5 codes of practice. Now, this number, it was, I would say, somewhat aspirational. It's a legacy number. It's been from before that we say, let's do 5 codes of practice.
Engineer Fayed, let me interrupt you at this moment. Since okay. I've been going in and out, this subcommittee 4, I wanted to chair it. And you know the reason, because you are the chairman of divisions. Am I correct?
Yes, currently, up until the end of this year, up until December, after I got to
fine. Even if we go beyond that, you will still have relations with them. So I thought you can do this better. And whereas subcommittee 5, I want Engineer Bukar to chair that. All the other three, we can pick the chair and other members. So I'm just saying this because my network can go again. What's in my mind is that each of these, Engineer Ramoto, we will put you in subcommittee number 3, okay? So that you can have a WhatsApp groups.
Okay, sir.
Based on this, okay? Everybody. And if you don't mind, also, I'm just interrupting you, Engineer Janaku, before, Falwe,
I'm hearing you, sir.
Before my network goes again, in case it goes. Can we consider now that all the various subcommittees are hereby inaugurated? Do we accept that?
Sir.
So yes, Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Yes, all the subcommittees as presented here, but when we must have incorporated Engineer Ramatu into subcommittee 3, you are hereby inaugurated.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Seconded.
Thank you very much. Maybe just to seal further comment, I accept
I'm so happy with the way Engineer Falu is presenting this. You can continue now.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. So, well, what I'll say is that I want to believe that I have drained the material. I believe I've spoken about it sufficiently. Subcommittee 5 was what was left, and Engineer Booker being the head of that.
Please continue.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. So, Engineer Booker being head of that subcommittee number 5, I believe he had also initiated it, but the thinking behind this is to help to develop a pool of those ones that can actually help to develop codes and standards. So we have been limited somewhat, I would say, in the NSA. Some divisions are much more advanced than others. The NIEEE, they had been developing standards or even adapting them in electrical engineering. But then other divisions also need to get to this same level of consistency. So this really is for the engineer Booker, given his experience and his credentials, to help to develop what I'm calling like a training curriculum that will help to ensure we start doing codes and standards. I was saying in subcommittee 4 that 5 was aspirational. From the experience we've had, you haven't had 5 across divisions. There was a time agriculture did like a burst of activity, and they did quite a number. But then after that, after the last division chairman left, agriculture hasn't come up with much since then. And I can keep on naming divisions that we need to develop our capacity in this. So this is what it is. So Prof has nominated those ones who would lead. So I'm calling them coordinators so that we do not have a confusion between who is chairman and who is not. So coordinators of each of the subcommittees. Engineer Booker will coordinate subcommittee 5. I will coordinate subcommittee 4. So for subcommittee 1, 2, and 3, I'm not sure I got who it is Professor Adefila said is going to be the coordinator. So Prof, I think maybe you should start talking about it now. Who will you be nominating to coordinate the first 3 subcommittees? Professor Adefila?
I think it's all the network.
Oh, I'm back again. Thank you, Engineer
He
Fale.
mentioned Engineer Ramatu or something. Okay, he's back. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm back again.
Yeah.
No, I think we have done essential things for us to take off right now.
Network is not clear.
As presented here.
Whoever is sharing him can tell us.
We said that Engineer Ramoto will be that Engineer Fale has process which are going to develop.
So I can't hear him too well. I'm hearing it in snatches as well. But if we say that Engineer Ramatu is the coordinator for subcommittee 3, we will still need to identify for subcommittee 1.
Hello? Hello, are you saying it's subcommittee 3?
So I'm trying to confirm which subcommittee was it that you were going to head. I know he said, I think you said your name was also supposed to be part of subcommittee 3, right?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. So which one are you going to be the coordinator for? Is it for 2 or 3?
I think he said 3.
Okay. I heard 3 as well. But I had seen her name 2 before. That was why I wanted to confirm. But if Engineer Ramatu is going to be coordinator for subcommittee 3, we need another coordinator for subcommittee 2, and then maybe subcommittee 1 as well. Maybe Engineer Al Hassan Mohammed, since he's the only other member now.
Exactly. Yeah. You are correct.
Okay. So we will need a coordinator for subcommittee 2. Can I suggest Engineer Professor Ayeche? In the names that are here, he's the only one present aside from Ramatu and Buka.
No, Engineer Michael, if is he not there? Is not with us?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's
no, it's not.
on
Oh,
this call.
Ayeche. Okay, Ayeche, let Engineer Ayeche, take that up, please. Number 2.
Okay.
Engineer Ayeche, I'm sure you have accepted. Thank you very much.
Sorry, sir. I'm not afraid of taking up, but I'm new. So if we have all the assistance and cooperation, no problem.
I didn't hear you clearly.
Okay, what I'm saying is I've not worked with any of these committees before. I am new. But if I will have all the cooperations and assistance, then I can accept it. But what I'm saying is I'm new. I'm new in this exercise.
Oh, okay. You are new. Okay, yeah.
I have the same complaint too, that me too I'm new. If we can have 1 or 2 people as assistants too, that we work together.
If I may comment, Prof, is that when we started, everybody was new. It's taking a while to get here, but what we need are people who are passionate and who have the conviction, and we will support them.
Okay.
I still want to suggest that the names that have been mentioned should still take it up, and we will support them.
Thank you very much, Engineer Fadi.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Engineer Bukar's hand is up, Prof.
Okay. Engineer Bukar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Engineer Fadi, well done. You have given a very good explanation about this committee. Now, I want to add something, trying to look at Committee 3 and to review the nomenclature or the title. What I see with SON, which we are trying to add a situation where you carry out impact analysis, how to develop this code, and even going to the extent of ensuring that each division develops some number of codes. Now, what will be the impact of this code in the practice of engineering? We have to ensure that these codes that we are developing, or this standard that we are developing, we need to find out, are they actually meeting the aspiration of the end users?
Okay.
Are they supporting our practice? If they are not supporting, then we should be able to now carry out the impact and then come up with the indices of how far they have been able to support the practice of engineering.
Okay.
If they are not, during the time of the review of those standards, they will now bring in those gaps that we have identified during the monitoring stage. So that number 3 should be like subcommittee on impact assessment or monitoring and then advocacy. You are going to carry out advocacy. But in carrying out advocacy, you are also going to find out those ones that are existing.
Thank you, Engineer Fali.
Yeah, so those ones that people have been using, how far have they impacted in the practice of engineering? You should be able to get that during your advocacy. And then those indices will come back during our review of those standards. We'll now be able to update it to what the people want. Because the standard is about the needs of the people. We're not doing it, we are doing it for the people. And how have this thing affected the people? We need to find out. So I think that title will be okay. And then another thing is that in the development of this standard, we should be looking at engineering departments. That is what I expect NSE to be looking at. Those projects that we have in the universities, we need to look at those projects in the engineering department and bring them to view. Develop standards for them, hand them over to some, for some to now review it, and then see how they can be a product that can be commercialized in Nigeria. If you look at the Nigerian society now, we especially now that we are going into what we call the African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
Okay.
The African Continental Free Trade Agreement is an agreement where we have harmonized standards at the regional level. This standard that we have harmonized, it is expected that those products that we are going to be selling, instead of remaining in Nigeria, when we adopt those regional standards, those products will not be targeting 200 million Nigerians. It will be targeting a population of 1.something million.
Billion.
The advantage of the AFCFTA to drive away poverty, to be able to increase production where we can employ more and target a larger market than the small market of Nigeria. Now, look at the varieties of products in Nigeria. It is very limited. We don't have much product. If you tell me what business you want to do, what do you want to manufacture, I'll just be looking at maybe if I get money, pure water or welding or something. But there are so many things that have been developed at the engineering department across all universities in Nigeria, which we are not even looking at. To now say, let's produce standard for them and elevate this product to the extent that we can export them. In fact, there was a time when I was doing my master's in FUT, Mina, I saw an undergraduate student that developed a machine for defeathering chicken or fowl. When you go to all this, where they sell fowl in the market, when they slaughter them, they put them into hot water, and then they'll be struggling because the thing is hot, how to defeather. But this boy developed a machine, even though it was a wooden machine, which is better. And then it will defeather the chicken completely for you. This thing I'm talking about is as far back as 2007 or so. Now, that product, that design was left there, that construction was left there. Not until about a month ago, my wife was showing me that, oh, look at the product made from China that can defeather a chicken. Just almost exactly what I saw that time back. So if we had developed this standard, this will be part of our products that we can export.
Yeah.
So these are just the two things that I want to add. So, and then the third one is the need assessment. Anytime we're asking each of these divisions to produce codes and standards, they can do that. They should be able to find the needs of the people in that practice. What are the needs? Those codes must be targeted at the need of the people. We will not just be adopting codes and practice because we want to produce a large number of codes. No. This code, how does it affect these people that are working with them? Do they need it? If we adopt it, will it be taken for use? So we need to design a need assessment form where we can get the needs of the people, and then also develop an impact assessment form where we can find out the impact of the existing standards and codes. Thank you, sir.
Engineer Bukar, you have made very, very useful contribution. And I can see that Engineer Fale, you are picking as he was talking, also. Engineer Falui?
Yes, I was.
You were. I was very happy that
I still need to expand on it, but yes,
Yes. Please do expand on it. You and I can discuss, then we post it on the platform. Okay. So have we agreed that we have agreed that Engineer Bukar we chair subcommittee 5. Engineer Fali will chair subcommittee 4. Engineer Ramoto will chair subcommittee 3. Engineer Ayeche will chair subcommittee 2. And who was that again in subcommittee 1?
Hassan.
Hassan with her. Thank you. So we are done. So let's each of those chairs bring come up with a WhatsApp group for their group, and then we start talking. And by the next meeting, we believe that each group will be able to come up with something for us, particularly following this process or the procedure, whichever you want to call it, that have been highlighted for us. Does anybody have contributions to make to that?
Yes, I have something, Doctor. I have something to add to that.
Okay, please.
And basically, actually, it is not only the divisions that have the responsibility to develop codes. We have to find a way to reach out to the end users, the industries, the manufacturers, and so on, because eventually they are the ones who will need these standards that will have to be developed, approved, and circulated by SOM. So we have to develop a template and find out how many end users do we have in each section or each division. The important ones, which we can once in a while reach out to them and try to establish the daily needs, what they want to bring, new products, new developments, new researches. We need to try to marry that to the required standards, and we need to find a way to reach out to them. That's my contribution.
Okay, thank you very much. And that reminds me of something. Engineer Godwin, Dr. Godwin, which subgroup are you chairing?
I mean, 3 and 4.
No, I mean chairing. No, chairing.
Well, I'm not just coordinating. I'm not coordinating anyone, but I will provide very useful input to any group that I belong.
Okay. Engineer Ramatu.
Yes, so I think it's better for him to chair while I support him.
Let's do that. Thank you very much. Dr. Godwin.
Okay, sir. Yes, I've heard you. That's okay.
Okay,
yes.
So it's you that's going to. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry for that interruption. Okay.
Prof, I don't know if I may comment.
Dr. Godwin made a very, very useful something, and that it may not necessarily be the divisions that will be, coming up with these things. That it's among us here that will do needs analysis, go to the various groups, and Engineer Bukar mentioned something which is very, very important. A lot of projects have been developed in the universities all across. And we need to find a way by reaching out to them. It will be difficult for us to reach out to all. So let us develop a strategy by which you can do this. Does anybody have anything to say on this? A strategy for reaching out to these departments?
Yes, I have, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
I was just trying to resist myself not to comment on this. But let me go on. You see, in the university system, we turn out hundreds and thousands of projects every year.
Correct.
Now, what is the target? What do we want to achieve by the time the student, maybe if it's first degree, I mean, BSc or BNG or BTech?
Whatever.
Once the student has sufficiently demonstrated an understanding of the principles and applied them, and you see that it's working, it's good to go. It may not be possible within the university system to produce that item to the standard that should be, I mean, we call it innovation, ready for the market.
We know that.
Facilities are not there.
No.
Yeah, this deferring in UI, we had talked about that more than 15 years ago. It's not new. Now, there are so many other ones. So once that capacity is not there within the university system, the product is not likely to be ready for the market. That is the innovation stage. You just develop, yes, technical stage. You just get something new. But to get it to that, what the market will use, unless a lot of facilities are developed within the system in the university, that is where that may work. However, there is a way out. If there is a good understanding between the university and the industries, they can cooperate.
Yeah.
This is what we have. How can you help us produce it? In that case, you are not belaboring the university, setting up all the industries, all the manufacturing facilities to produce those thousands. How many of them will they produce? But if government comes with its backing and ensures that, okay, if you have this project in this area, go to so company. If this is this area, go to so. And there should be a way of encouraging the industry players to encourage what is happening in the university. I was in the industry quite for a long time, in fact, about 2 decades before I went to pure academia. So I fairly understand what is playing out at both ends. Internationally, they don't reckon with our, whatever is happening in the industry, in the universities. They get this, they send them abroad and do whatever with their parent companies. I'm sorry, that's why I said I was trying to not to comment on this. Now, as I said, if there's a way of marrying the two, we keep talking about town, gown, and all those, but at the end of the day, it ends up there. I had an opportunity to address, in fact, it was a live TV show, where part of the suggestions is that we should get those in the industry to come and teach in the classroom. If when we finish training students, say it doesn't have experience, it can't do this. What are those things you're expecting that a student should have by the time he's leaving the university at the end of 5 years? Come and teach that in the classroom. Be part of that teaching and training process. So that by the time the student gets out of the system, he's fairly ready for the market.
Yeah.
I always draw a parallel between engineering and medicine. No matter how we see it, our medical doctors are still part of the best trained professionals in this country up to tomorrow.
And nurses too.
And nurses, medical personnel. They are looking for them all over the world.
In those good olden days, it used to happen with agriculture, but it collapsed.
So, because right from maybe second year, with their consultants, they are going forward round until they finish the 6th year. This is what the student is seeing every day. This is how this consultant has treated this. Tomorrow, the same thing. Next year, so by the time he's getting out of the university, it's not perfect, but it's fairly ready for the market. We don't have that in the university, in engineering. And the only way I think is maybe if government will encourage the industry and the universities to collaborate more. I have more to say on this. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for that input. I did my master's in Holland. And what you have said now, really, that's what they do in Holland. The engineers are trained as almost essentially as our medical doctors are trained. That's what they do. So this is a very important point, and I don't know how we can take it up and start. Sorry, who do I pick to talk between Engineer Janaku and Engineer Bukar?
Let Engineer Janaku start, then I'll
okay. Very good. Engineer Janaku, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I need to apologize for coming on late. I tried joining earlier, but network didn't allow me coming. My apologies, please. Talking about all of these processes, I just want to add my voice to what Engineer Bukar had mentioned earlier on with respect to conducting a needs assessment.
We've adopted that.
In conducting a needs assessment, it gives us a clear template, a complete broadsheet of the things that are required, the many, many gaps in our system. That is critical. All we're doing it today is that we're providing, in most cases, codes and standards that are mostly not used in the market or not even wanted because we have not conducted effective needs analysis, which will make us identify all of the gaps. And so we can create a spreadsheet of what is required, and we can allocate resources. In allocating the resources, I want to completely align with Engineer Osita earlier on with respect to allowing our universities to collaborate effectively with industry. And there is no better umpire in this kind of relationship than the institutions in the society. So, but the beginning must be our conduct of a proper needs analysis to identify the gaps. And there are many. And we must then develop a process for bridging this gap and making these necessary provisions within our codes and standards. My second point has also been mentioned earlier on, and I would just want to amplify a bit, and that is the issue of stakeholder engagement. What we do today is that we speak to the divisions, the engineers doing most of all of these provisions, and we do not consider the needs of the end users. And I like to say, because from my experience, and I know that there are a lot of people who are much more experienced than me on this call, is that there are so many Uncle Joes all over our communities who may not have the academic or professional qualification for this thing, but have experiential and empirical understanding and can lend a voice, give very valued advice. In fact, they can lead us to providing adequate codes and standards that will help us resolve a lot of the issues that we face on a daily basis. I see it every day in practice. And I know that we need to deliberately bring them into the loop so that they can be useful to us. Thank you very much.
If I can make comment before Engineer Yaya comes in, that latter part which you mentioned, I'm sure will get addressed as government is now seriously promoting technical and vocational education. Did I say something there?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
It's not enough, sir, for government to promote technical and vocational education, sir. That will do a bit. But in terms of harmonizing and getting very useful codes and standards that are operable. It's not that we don't have these things done. There are so many on every shelf all over Nigeria. But are they operable?
Yeah.
Can we operationalize these codes and standards? So it's not what the government is doing now. What the government is doing now is preparing a future, because those are the people that would garner the experience and become useful in the way I have said it. But today, sir, we need to begin to seek out those artisans, those technicians who have practiced for 30, 40, 50 years and are still practicing.
Yeah.
They have gathered the requisite experience. They have empirical knowledge. They may not have the certification.
Yeah.
Because in that particular
even
area,
that certification will be coming right now with this new government policy.
Hope so, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Engineer Bukar, please just round up.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I brought the issue of engaging the university.
You did.
And that is the looking at the projects that have been done by students in the engineering department. Just as everyone here, I went through the university and I did a project. In fact, I did at master's and then at undergraduate. Those projects in the university, we know that the university does not have the facility to establish or to commercialize those projects. Nobody is looking at the university to do that.
They don't.
We are looking at the other side of it, especially like from SON. We're already working on how to look at this project from the university and then be able to raise them at incubation centers. We have incubation centers in Nigeria. Yeah. Those incubation centers are actually to raise those things that have been done at that level to a certain level that can be commercialized. We're already developing a template on how to look at this. But when it comes to the development of the standard, we are looking at item 2, that is subcommittee 2. When subcommittee 2 is going to work to develop standard, we are supposed to be looking at how to develop standards on those products. Those products have been done by the student at their own low level. Now, at our own level that we have practiced, we know how to raise the standard of those products. That is what standard development is all about. To look at how to raise the standard of the product from that low level to a higher level. That is why standard development is not about just adoption. We have two types of standard that we do. We can adopt from the international level. When you are adopting at the international level, you are actually most of the time looking at import. But when you are developing from domestic level, from internal level, you are looking at export. So you are looking at how to raise the standard of those low products that we have in Nigeria. How do we raise their standard? How do we develop the standard to the level where somebody can pick it and commercialize it? So let us not be looking at the effort we are doing in the university to be a wasted effort. I don't believe that after spending some money in developing my project, that project is wasted. It should have a meaning. We should be able to find the meaning of those products that we are doing in the university at a commercial level. Most of the development in some of this developed world, they are products from the university. It is not everything in the university that we are going to pick. At least we are going to carry out feasibility study. We have designed the way to go about it. You develop feasibility study, pick those ones that you feel can actually gain market, and then we now develop standard for them, and we get people that are going to pick them to commercialize them. The one that I did was on copper plating procedure on steel, non-cyanide copper plating procedure. That was what I did at my O-level, my undergraduate. That non-cyanide, how do you plate copper or steel without using cyanide? Knowing fully well that cyanide is poisonous. So I had to develop a method.
Yes. Yes.
Finish, and now discover that, oh, if I can establish a small commercial unit where anybody that is having a wristwatch, where the wristwatch has worn off, those one that looks like gold-plated wristwatch, I can plate copper on those wristwatch or bronze to beautify it, to raise the value of those wristwatch. Just like when you have a cobbler mending your old shoe, I can begin to look at wristwatches and see how I can plate either bronze or copper on them to raise their value, especially those ones that are made of steel. We can commercialize it. The one I did at my master's level was design and construction of a block testing machine. This block testing machine that we're buying now in SON, in several dollars, $1,000, that we're buying those machines, which I designed at a low level, that we can upgrade it, develop a standard for it, and see how we can commercialize it. So those projects are not worthless. They have meaning if we can look at them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Engineer Fale, you still want to talk?
Yes, I do. I wanted to comment on what it is that has been spoken about. I wanted to let it pass, but if you don't mind, maybe I can comment on it. So there are three things. One is that this particular committee was set up by the NSE, and in terms of reference, we may need to frame what it is that we are doing to fall within the terms of reference, and maybe we can still all study it again. The things that have been said, they are all things that we are personally passionate about. There is no doubt in that, but just so that we'll be able to report and say that we are actually performing against the indices that have been set, I think we should look at it. But having said that, I want to make maybe two other comments. The first one is about what has been said about the commercializing the products that have been developed, for example, in the universities. Now, I totally understand what Engineer Buka is saying, and also what Professor Anyeche are saying. And Jabuka is saying, let us commercialize them. Let us make money from them after is bringing opportunity. And Jabuka is saying that what we have in the university, they are innovations. They are one-off. To get them to be commercialized, there's still a step. And I agree, there's a step in between the innovation, the innovative or innovated products and commercialization. There's a step that I tend to call industrialization. Now, what Engineer Buka has described, there is a step that you need to be able to take a product that you say this is the concept and say you want to mass produce it for it to be sold commercially and that it will be at a quality that is acceptable to all. You still need to be able to develop that product so that it will be mass produced. So the example that has been given about the feathering, I also recall, can't remember if it was Professor Bamiro or there's another professor of mechanical engineering, maybe Engineer Hassan will remember his name. They had spoken about these things that UI had talked about many, many, many years ago. So when I say many years ago, we were younger, like 40 years ago, and he said it then that they had already produced those concepts, but why was it not mass produced? Is what Engineer Buka said, that if you're going to produce it, it's not at the stage where it is you can get a factory to produce it. It's a stage where it is that you have to get a welder, you have to get a panel beater, you have to get individual artisans, and you cannot mass produce like that. In China, they just mass produce it in a factory. But you will need some kind of like standardization of the parts that they have made so that it can be mass produced. So I don't know whether the incubation centers that Engineer Buka has been talking about, whether it will be able to achieve that kind of thing. But we do need to be able to have that step to say what kind of standards will be able to mass produce this particular product. But the challenge is that there are thousands of products. It's not just a defeathering machine. How do you mass produce the defeathering machine? How do you mass produce the machine that is going to be doing non-cyanide plating of steel? How do you mass produce a machine that will be doing a direct cloth? So every single one of them is going to need some kind of standardization so that they can be produced en masse, and then you can commercialize it and send it all across Africa. So that is something that maybe we can exercise our thought around it, but it's also something that that it requires time. But the other thing I also wanted to add is about this particular committee. So we have a very rich mix of people that are here. We are from academia and we have from government. So even though Engineer Buka has retired from SON, but still he has the mindset of government, of a regulator. Engineer Janoku also is the mindset of a regulator because of where it is that is coming, which is going to enrich what it is that we are doing. We have those from academia, Professor Adefila, Professor Anyeche, also from academia. We can pull together what it is that is the knowledge of all these people. But really, what we want to do is to be able to achieve something that will be for our country, for our nation. And the NSC is a professional association. The NSC is not a regulator. The NSC is not academia. It just has engineers. It is a place where it is that we can talk, we can do things together because it is a safe space. It's a circle of trust where everybody can talk and see how it is that they can get more done. So the fact that we are actually even surfacing these ideas to talk about it, I think it is something that is positive, but we're going to need to see how it is that we can translate the talk into action. We're going to see how it is that we can actually get these standards to have an impact on the rest of Nigeria. So I think that we need to think about to be able to measure that we're actually progressing along the lines of what we have been asked to do. We need to try and first of all succeed on what our TOR is, and then after that, see how it is we can modify what it is that we want to do so that it can impact the rest of Nigeria. And I think the platform that is really an ideal platform is the NSC, because of how it is that all of us can speak this way. So those are my comments. Back to you now, Prof. Yes, Professor Adefila, we can't hear you because you're muted.
Sir, yeah, I'm saying that we have said a lot, and we need to find ways of crystallizing these things. Engineer Fale, you have done something very, very useful for us today. You kept aligning us along the TOR, which NSC has given to us. We have all the things that you have said, that's where I see you, guiding us to. Quickly, just one minute. Engineer Saidu, Engineer Al-Hassan, one minute, please.
Okay, my chairman. Thank you for joining late. I initially told the chairman I'm on transit.
I delivered the message.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I hope you have given them the update on the Defense Ministry.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay, I don't know whether I can give it or I can wait till another meeting.
Let's give it to be useful.
Okay.
The Course and Standard Committee is involved in liaison with the defense ministry on establishing, not establishing, but on their codes and standards. They buy all kinds of things from everywhere. They buy from Poland, they buy from Russia, and so on and so forth. So we are inching ahead, and we had a meeting recently Engineer Saidu, can you make a presentation? 2 minutes?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll try to summarize it. We NSC and there was a courtesy visit to NSC headquarters by the defense headquarters, their courts and standard department, and vice versa. And we went to the defense headquarters. We also met them. It's a MOU that has been developed between the two bodies. The military establishment are doing so many infrastructural, including their other armament and whatever you have. And they want expertise and support and other things from the Nigerian society. They've recognized that they need input of professionals, and where they will get that input as regards their own work is from the Nigerian Society of Engineers. The MOE has been developed. It's just waiting to just one or two minor things that between our legal and their legal department, crossing the T's and dotting the I's to be signed. And even when we went there on the visit, they said they have doing a complex, a kind of hospital complex now, that they will need an immediate, not sort of intervention, an immediate coordination or collaboration with the Nigerian Society of Engineers in respect of the facilities they are installing and they are building and now building and installing in that complex. In that regard, while the MOU is being formalized, they want us to go there and have our expert from NSC to visit the facility and see what they are doing, and also advise them further on whatever they are doing that is okay or is not okay. They want to collaborate with us on that aspect. It's a quite wide range of things that required we as Nigerians. I want to be proud that, yes, we are part and parcel of our armed forces in terms of whatever they are doing. So in that regard, immediately they will send a list, and the list will be brought to this committee, and we will try to nominate experts in those particular areas, and then we'll take it to the NSC president for her blessing, and then for onward action between the NSC and the Nigerian defense industries and our own defense ministry in all. So that's just the summary of what there are so many. I think I'm trying to summarize what is on ground now.
Okay.
And then yes, and then just a little rider to what we are saying. Before I came late, sorry, but I think our focus is on cost and standard. Though Fale is saying we are not regulators. Yeah, we are not regulators, but cost and standard is to guide whatever is happening. Is it within the acceptable standard for one users? Is it
Engineer
so? I
Saidu,
think
Engineer Saidu, we
yes,
can just stop there. And since
okay, sir.
you are going to, we have records of
okay, no
the discussion. And by the time you go through, you see that
okay,
a lot,
has
been
said.
said.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
And what we need to do is just crystallize
thank you
these
very
things.
much. Okay,
yeah.
sir. I'll
Thank you.
go through that.
Engineer Lazan,
I'll make my contribution.
1 minute, please. Oh, it's not coming. It's not coming. Alasan,
please,
okay,
quickly,
yeah, please.
Hello, can I?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
I am trying to hear.
Yeah, quickly,
Go ahead, try, talk, and let's see if we can hear you.
Yeah, I have a concern. One, this is by NSC, which change members almost every year, every 5 members. So, if companies like this question that is give some kind of continuity. By next year, when they change, they bring new people, they are not there. Certainly, so I'm suggesting there are some which there should be some kind of continuity in the membership. And in this subcommittee that we have here also, I realize that there are some imbalance in the number of people in the subcommittee. Like in my committee, I just only two persons. The first committee, committee one. One in committee, either 2 or 3. I think like 5, 6 people. Maybe the chairman can use his wisdom to make it balanced so that you can have at least 3 or 4 people in each subcommittee. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much. Engineer Hassan, you are not here when you are made chairman of subcommittee.
I know, I'm aware.
You are there. Okay, very good, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But
I think we can just
observing is that we are only 2 in that committee.
Yeah, just yourself and Engineer Falui. Yourself and Engineer Falui.
Can we balance?
Do we have any other anybody who wants to join that committee?
Okay, let me join that committee. I think I'm not in any of the committees.
Okay.
Engineer Said Hassan.
Okay.
I'm not in any of the committees. Let me join that committee.
Okay. I'll put your name there. Group 1. Saidu Hassan.
Yes.
Okay. I'm also available for the committee. Christopher Iguatu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chris. Thank you. Also,
yes, sir.
1. So there are 4 of you now. 4 of you now. Thank you. Can we go to AOB and then we round up?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just a little clarification. Just very little. When we are talking about development of standard, that committee 2, a code and standard. For me, I was looking at product standard as well. That was why I was talking about the university. Maybe code and standard, you'll be looking at practices of engineering, how to develop code and standard for the practice of engineering, not product standard. Because engineering, what the engineering is doing, engineering department, they are producing products.
Yeah.
Now, so maybe it's quite different from what we are looking at here. We're talking about codes and standard, maybe we're looking at practices. That is 1. Then 2, when you are talking about raising a product to commercial level, we're not talking about mass production now. The only thing that can make you to produce a mass is standard itself. Let us get that clarification. It is standard that makes you to produce a mass. It is not as if there is going to be another connection between what you have done at that low level and then what you are going to do as a commercial level. It is the standard itself that help you to raise products for you to now produce a mass. And the people that will now need to commercialize are people who want to invest in that venture. Once they have a standard, once there is a feasibility study about that product, the next thing is for them to get money to invest in the production of that product. So what we are trying to do at SON to embark on development of standard is to look at those products at that low level, then generate a standard for it that can raise the value of that product. And then we'll do a feasibility study. First, we are going to collate all those standards, all those products that have been done at the university, those projects, we'll collate them, and then carry out a feasibility study. Which one can we raise the standard for? And then open it for people to come and invest in those areas. It is at that level that they are now going commercial. Now, when you want to pilot, you want to do a pilot production, that is where incubation centers come. The incubation centers are made to do pilot production. When I was head of those zones, I was working with the incubation center, providing them with a standard to pilot those products and then commercialize. So there are stages like that. But what you need is the standard itself. You must have a standard. That standard is what can bring about repeatability and then mass production. So maybe the standard we're talking about here, the code and standard is about practice. It's not about products. So maybe that was where
I got you right. Actually, I was going to put you and Engineer Fali to talk together during the week. So I had it in mind before, but I've said it now. Engineer Fali, did you hear me?
Yes, I did. I think
Yes.
both
of you.
to be beneficial. Yes,
both of you will talk.
Clarify what we're talking about, yes.
Both of you will talk. And I'm sure you understand the basis on which we will talk. Okay? All right. I think we have done enough for today. I really appreciate, we spent almost 2 hours, and people have been extremely cooperative, responsive, and contributive. Thank you very much. We've inaugurated all these groups. We have added 2 people to group 1. Anyway, I have a record here. I'll pass it to Engineer Saidu. Saidu Hassan will prepare a report for us. I'm sure he has an arduous task ahead of him to be able to crystallize all these dilute solutions that we have generated today. I want to thank everybody, and perhaps if somebody wants to raise a motion for adjournment. So before we do that, each subgroup will put themselves together, led by the chairs. Okay? We've asked Engineer Dr. Godwin to chair group 3, not so?
Group 3.
Godwin?
Yes, I'm hearing group 3, yeah.
Group 3. Then Al-Hassan, group 1. Who is chair of group 2?
Anyeche.
Anyeche. Then Engineer Bukar 5, Engineer Fali 4. I think we are sorted out. So we'll be expecting some kind of report from you by the next meeting. That is the 3rd Saturday of October. You can be sure that I'll be getting in touch with all of you in the process of getting this done. Thank you very much. So somebody wants to raise a motion, somebody wants to support it, then we pray and we'll recess.
Okay, thank you, my chairman.
Chris, thank you.
Yeah, in the absence of any further deliberation and discussions, I, Engineer Chris Iguatu, move the motion for the adjournment of this meeting till Saturday, 3rd October 2025.
Thank you very much.
I so move. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can lower your hands. Yes. Seconder?
Hi, Engineer Musa. Okay, somebody is already there.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Hi, Engineer Musa Ramatu, seconded.
Thank you. And so this meeting has come to a recess. We're not closing, or we're just recessing. So thank you very much.
Prayer.
So let's have individual prayers to close. Oh, sorry. Well, yeah, to close. Individual prayers, please. Let's appreciate our God that has led us this far.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Engineer Sedu. Engineer Sedu, let's you and I talk on phone now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'll be getting in touch with everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, my chairman. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.